everybody, welcome back to the channel that gives you the real story behind the headlines. No spin, no censorship, just the truth about our rights and how they're under attack every single day. Today, we're going to dive into the biggest shakeup at the Department of Justice in years, and the media absolutely hates it. Why? Because Harmeet Dillon, a fearless fighter for the Constitution, is stepping into a role that could finally bring balance and integrity to a Department of Justice that's been weaponized for far too long. Cautiously optimistic on it. She is taking over the DOJ's Civil Rights Division, and she's making it clear, your Second Amendment rights are civil rights. You'd think that would be cause for celebration, but the corporate media is in full-on meltdown mode, and I'm going to break it down for you here. But first, a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video is CMMG. They have always supported this channel. I can't do it without them. They're great friends to the family. They're great friends to the Second Amendment. And the owners have used their own dollar bills to sue the ATF. They make top-tier items that push the boundaries of innovation while standing proudly behind the Second Amendment. They're the go-to for me, whether it's a Banshee Descent or a conversion kit for 22. They make great stuff, and G&G 10, great stuff. Let's start with the basics. Who is Harmeet Dillon? For those unfamiliar with her, she's a powerhouse civil rights attorney. She's the founder of the Dillon Law Group and a veteran of constitutional battles against state and federal overreach. She's taken on big tech censorship, illegal COVID mandates, government overreach, and yes, she's been a relentless defender of gun rights in the courts. But now Dillon is the next head of the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. That's the same office that for years has been used to push partisan agendas, usually ignoring the rights of law-abiding gun owners, while weaponizing civil rights law for political purposes. And she's the quarterback now of the Department of Justice's new Second Amendment task force because it's in her division. It's the same task force that is now investigating the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for ridiculous delays in obtaining concealed carry permits. Yes, I believe permits are unconstitutional, but you can't have everything all at once. Recently, she was on the Glenn Beck show, and she talked about how Colorado's new gun ban is unconstitutional. She discussed how delayed her process has been to get her permit because she's a gun owner now that she lives in the DC area. And she mentioned that she was going to do something to address that. So that's probably going to be a lawsuit against DC coming, which is going to be great. She's even talked about New York's unconstitutional gun laws and how the Civil Rights Division was going to push back against these states that are violating people's civil rights. Dillon says that all civil rights matter, and that includes our First Amendment rights, our religious liberty, and of course the right to keep and bear arms. And wouldn't you know it, the moment her name was floated for the job, the media mob went on in an attack mode. They went on full-blown meltdown. And just, if you listen to some of the coverage out there, the outlets are calling her an extremist, her a dangerous ideologue, and even accusing her of undermining democracy. Why? Well, because she believes in the Constitution and believes it means what it says. The nerve, imagine that. According to a recent AMOLAN piece, the same journalists who cheered Biden's weaponized DOJ for targeting parents and religious Americans and lawful gun owners, well, they're now acting like the world is ending because Dillon might bring balance back to the department. Let's be honest, guys. The media doesn't hate her because she's a threat to civil rights. They hate her because she's a threat to their narrative. They've spent years redefining civil rights to exclude the rights that they don't like. Free speech? Not if you're a conservative. Gun rights? Forget it. Religious liberty? Only if your beliefs align with theirs. The left basically is saying that you can only have as much individual liberty as their ideology agrees with. Think of that. That's pretty bad. I mean, that's a bunch of Tories right there. But Harmeet Dillon has made it very clear. The Second Amendment isn't some fringe issue. It's core to the American understanding of liberty. And hopefully she's going to make sure it's treated that way. Now, this isn't just a personnel change. This is a potential turning point for the Department of Justice. I've been reporting on some of the good things that they have done for gun rights. There's no such thing as gun rights, but for the Second Amendment over the last 2 weeks now. So please go back on the channel and watch those, because things that the DOJ has never ever done before for the Second Amendment are happening right now. Now, for years, the Civil Rights Division has used the phrase equity to justify going after lawful gun shops, law-abiding gun owners, and even, faith-based groups. I'll say it again. And instead of defending civil liberties, they've weaponized the law to crush dissent and enforce political conformity. Doesn't sound like a free society, does it? But Harmeet's appointment could reset that agenda. In her own words, she plans to bring neutral and even-handed enforcement to civil rights laws, which is a shocking concept in today's Department of Justice. That means standing up for all Americans, regardless of politics, race, or the type of firearm that they have. And yes, she's made it clear gun owners are part of that picture. She's spoken publicly about the right to self-defense as a fundamental civil right, and she brings that mindset into the DOJ. We might finally see a rollback of some of the abusive enforcement tactics that we've been documenting here on this channel for years. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. So, why does this matter to all of us? Well, because this is about more than Harmeet Dillon. It's about whether our government will finally respect the full spectrum of civil rights, not just the ones that are politically convenient. It's about stopping the trend of painting us as second-class citizens because we love the Second Amendment, or worse, as a threat to democracy. It's about ending the days when our right to carry, our right to speak freely, are treated as problems to be managed by a huge central government instead of liberties to be protected. And we know the battle isn't over, and there will be fierce resistance from inside the DOJ, from Biden holdovers, and from the media as well, that sees us as the enemy. But for the first time in a long time, there's a chance to make real change. And that's something worth watching. If you believe civil rights include all rights, including the Second Amendment, help spread the story. The media wants to bury this, but we can make sure it gets out. Hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any updates as this story develops. Also, let me know what you think. Do you believe the DOJ can be reformed? And can Harmeet Dillon make a real difference? Again, a huge shout out to today's sponsor, CMMG, a company that doesn't just make incredible stuff, but stands tall in defense of freedom. Show them some support and love. And thanks for watching, folks. Keep your head on a swivel, stay engaged, and as always, be safe, stay vigilant, stay free, and stay ready. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.